Yo, what's good, my nephews and nieces? This is your favorite uncle, Uncle Demi, and today I have another special banger for you, all right? Today, what we're going to be talking about is the perks and multipliers on NBA 2K24. But before we get into the video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. As liking of the video, push the video to the recommended. And of course, subscribe and put your noti game for my daily uploads. Without further ado, let's hop straight into the video. Okay, so one thing I want to say is this. I am not going to talk about the builder anymore until my embargo's up, because there's so much information on the builder, how it works, and I cannot give numbers and attributes and stuff. So to me, it'll just be like giving generic information like all the other YouTubers that didn't go to 2K community. Like, they're just looking at a still screen and they're just making assumptions and that type of deal. And for me, you know, with the builder being something that, you know, obviously is near and dear to my heart, I just am not going to do that. So yesterday I talked about the new badges, gave some little explanation and insight on that, and today I'm going to talk about the badge progression, going over the perks and the multipliers. Okay, so let's just hop in it first and let's talk about the badge progressions. Now, we all have heard about the new badge progressions. I think the beautiful thing about the badge progression is that now it's based upon the way that you play. I know a lot of people were thinking like, well, you know, how I'm gonna lose a badge, or I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And to be honest with you, there's two things you want to remember. A, it's very easy to get badge progression. It's a lot easier to get badge progression this year, okay? And B, if you were to lose it, it's even easier to get it back, okay? So I don't want people to think that it's gonna be a constant grind of just trying to maintain or get different badges, okay? But what I will say is this, right? You're going to benefit more by this badge system, because based on the way you play, that's how you're going to be able to maintain, sustain, and be really lethal with those badges that you have. Whereas individuals that might do something occasionally, and like, for instance, if you're not a fader and you don't, you know, beforehand, you can have Agent 3s always sitting there in your back pocket. And you know, it's frustrating to just all of a sudden out of the blue, someone just does a fade and they knock it down, right? But that's very rare to happen in real life, or that's very rare to happen in general. So why not just have it to where, you know, listen, this is your bread and butter, you stick to that. If you go outside of that, then there's going to be some repercussions. There's going to be some penalties. And I think a lot of people look at it from an offensive standpoint. But listen very clearly, this is also on the defensive side too. Right? If you have individuals that get bailed out as lockdowns a lot because they do have so many badges on Hall of Fame that they become so well-rounded and dominant, you know, just spamming, whatever. But now, if you are a type of person, you have a hard time getting bumpy, you're just gonna have a hard time getting clamps, okay? And you're gonna have to utilize one of your perks on clamps, which is crazy to think about. You should want to utilize it on something else. So again, there's a give and take in this, and I understand people that are for it and against it. I'm actually for it, obviously, but because I just love how this is just new. To me, anything that's new, that's innovative, I'm going to be pretty happy with. But one thing I will say is this, is that when you make your build, every single build that has a color to it, you start off with it on bronze, okay? So don't sit here and think that you're not going to be able to get something off rip. You will have it on bronze, and then from there, it's your job to work it up to whatever you have it. So if you have a couple Hall of Fame badges, you can get up to a Hall of Fame badge. Depending on if it's S tier, obviously the S tier is going to be harder to get, but again, it's not going to be too hard. But you know, and it trickles all the way down. So obviously the lower tiers will be easier to get because they're not as important and effective to have, and you're probably not going to utilize enough anyway. So it probably would just stay at bronze a lot, or just silver. But those are the big key point that I want people to understand. It's not like you just come out there in the park, you have nothing. You will have start with bronze badges and you can work your way up from there, okay? So that's pretty self-explanatory. I'm hoping that you understand that. You can work on your badges, okay? You can work on your badges at the team practice facility, the Gatorade training facility, and Chris Brinkley's gym, okay? So basically, you are able to work on these badges in those three avenues outside of just playing in the park or the rec or pro-am or that type of deal. You can still go on their practice. Like the Gatorade, like to me, I'm thinking like Gatorade training facility. I'm trying to figure out like what would it be? Would it be just open and or maybe there's some stuff? Because to me, it just feel like the practice facility, is it going to be like how it's been in the past where like, you know, you have like specific training drills, or Is it something different? And then the Gatorade training facility, what is that going to be? You know, does it mean like now like certain type of equipment is going to work on certain things? You know what I mean? Like, is a weight still going to be in there? Like, you know, that's something to keep in mind. I mean, of course, you know, Chris Brinkley, that's kind of, I'm assuming it's probably the same thing. Like, it's just going to help you in like open runs maybe, and you be able to get, you know, your badges kind of all over the place by just playing open run games, okay? But that's my take on that. And then now let's just move over to the badge perks, okay? So as you see here, you have Overdrive, Immunity, you have Drive, Savant, and then Scholar, all right? So you have those, but then you also get, which a lot of people haven't been talking about, is rotational prizes or perks, which would be Winner's Circle and High Risk. But first, let's just look at the actual graph and let's break it down for you. One thing I want you to understand is that when you're up here, you see it says C tier, B tier, A tier, and S tier. That means you can only get badges in there. You cannot just get Overdrive and put all your S tier badges in there. It's going to be from each category, okay? So you can put a C tier badge, whatever C tier badge you want Overdrive, you can do that. Whatever B tier badge you want Overdrive, you can do that. Whatever A tier badge you want Overdrive, you can do that. And whatever S tier badge you want Overdrive, you want to do that. If you, for some reason, you know, have, you know, 2 S tier badges that you want Overdrive, obviously you're going to have to pick one, okay? You're going to have to pick one, and then obviously over time you can switch it out or whatever. All right, so that's one thing I want to point out. You cannot just get any badge and put them in anything. But as you see right below that, you see it has Scholar Season 1, okay? So again, like I said, this is going to be a Season 1 setup, right? Like basically each season, the setup could potentially be different. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But this is what the setup is right now, okay? So let's talk about Overdrive. Overdrive increases badge level progression in games. I think that's just pretty much, you know, self-explanatory, right? Basically, you will now get higher percentage points towards your badges in those games that are using Overdrive. Immunity slows down badge level regression in games. Those are going to be the ones that you don't necessarily utilize a lot, okay? But you utilize it on the second tier thing. So for instance, if you're a guard and, you know, you're going to be using like blow-bys and you're going to be using like, you know, handlers for days and all that type stuff. But then maybe you like doing, you know, I'm not sure, like another badge I'm trying to think of a badge that you might be trying to use. Maybe it's physical handles. I don't know, right? Maybe that's like your second row of badges you use a lot, but you just like, yo, I do use it occasionally, or I do use it somewhat. So I want to make sure I don't lose that much. You can do that. Okay, so that will be a good way to do that. Drill Savant increases badge level progression in team practice facilities. So again, that's what I was talking about in the Gatorade facility. I'm pretty sure it'll be also associated with, well, it says team practice facility, so I guess it will just be in the team practice. I don't know. I can find out if it's going to also move over in Gatorade facility and Chris Brinkley, but I'm not sure about that. This is Scholar. Now, Scholar is the one I really like. It's a risk reward perk that gives a significant increase in badge level progression for PvP. So that means you got to be playing against other people. You can't be playing against computers. All right. Finish with a high teammate grade. However, if it comes with a risk. You will receive a no progression for the badge if you do not finish with a high teammate grade. I do not know what that high teammate grade is. Is it like a C+ and up? Does it have to be a B and up? That's something I can find out, and I will put down in the description if I do find that out. But that's something I've been asking. I haven't got the answer yet. But Scholar is a good one, especially someone for like me, or players that just know like they're gonna win most of their games anyway. I think Scholar is just gonna be something that I definitely want to have like some really good badges there, because I know I'm gonna be winning. I mean, having really high teammate grades, and of course the next one, Winner's Circle, I'm gonna be winning a lot. All right. This is another risk report that gives a boost to a badge of progression. Once again, PvP games that result in a win for the user. However, you will still 0 progression for the badge if you lose a game. I'm not really stressing that. I'll usually, like I said, if you know you have like over an 80-something win percentage, it's gonna be far and few. So I think that would be something I would use. And then another one's called High Risk. This is a high risk perk. Increase your badge level progression for, once again, PvP games with bad usage, but accelerated regression with lack of usage. So this is basically like you want to quickly get these badges. So for what I would do is, this will be the ones I would utilize in the beginning when the game first comes out. I know I'm going to be winning a lot of my games anyway, so I'm going to put in a lot of high risk reward in that, because I want to get my lockdown badges as quick as I can. So I am going to go ahead and utilize it, but it's going to be more, it's for the lack of usage. So I know something for me like pickpocketing and stuff, I'm gonna use that. Clamps, I'm gonna have that on the high risk. you see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 perks, but you only are able to equip 4, right? So I want people to understand that you have 6 perks, but you're only able to equip 4. So you have to figure out what 4 that you want. You see what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. All right. Now let's head over to the multipliers. Okay. So again, the multipliers are actually really dope. I love these. These are actually earned though. Okay. So again, unlike badge perks, these provide benefits to all your equipped badges at once. So as long as challenges from the multipliers are met in their respective modes, each 3 performance multipliers have 4 versions. You got the NBA, the City, the Rec, and Pro-Am for a total of 12 multipliers. And again, I'm gonna break it down for you. I think that these are just absolutely amazing ideas. Shout out to Zach for this one, bro, because look at this. Grade A student, all right? In games finished with a high teammate grade, badge level progression is accelerated for all equipped badges. Just think about this. Like, you have so many different things now to accelerate your badges. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to be a crazy grind. Someone like me that's going to be making a lot of builds, I love this because now I'll be able to get my builds maxed out pretty quick, okay? But you finish with a high teammate grade, you get it accelerated. Like, I think that's just pretty dope. Winners take all. In games finishes with a win, badge level progression is accelerated for all equipped badges. That's just pretty much self-explanatory again, all right? And then, of course, you have up for the challenge. In games played against tough opponents, badge level progressions accelerate for all equipped badges. This one right here is definitely going to be utilized more often in Pro-Am. It gives individuals in the Pro-Am arena an opportunity to stay within Pro-Am and still be able to compete and get your badge points instead of having to play in like other venues that you're just not a fan of. You know, if you're a Pro-Am playing the Pro-Am, you're not really going to want to go to Rec, or you're not really want to go in the park. You want to stay in the Pro-Am. So I think that is a big one to have up for the challenge. Okay. Now, let's talk about the floor setters. These are very, very, very important, okay? Floor setters are powerful prizes that are earned via season XP. But here's the big part. But they're included only in the free base pass each season, okay? So it's not paid to play. This is not a paid version of the season pass. This is the free version of the season pass that everybody has an opportunity to do. It says there are 18 floor setter slots in total, 9 for silver, and 9 for gold. Okay, you see how Hall of Fame is not in there, right? Which makes sense because you're already Hall of Fame. Why would you want that, right? It says adding a floor setter to a badge will prevent the badge from ever dropping below the listed badge level. Right? So basically, you can consistently drop from Hall of Fame to gold, but you can never go lower than gold. Okay, if your badge has not progressed to the level of the floor setter you want to apply it to, it would auto progress to that level. So if you decided you want to get a floor setter on the badge, and you only have it on bronze, if you put the floor setter on that badge, it will automatically put it to gold, right? And it says, of course, you'll need to have fulfilled the attribute requirements for the level. And then it says they are permanent and cannot be changed. So I'm trying to figure out, is it permanent for that season, or is it permanent for the whole? I think it has to be permanent just for the season. And I think, you know, like, I guess people just don't want to have it interchangeable, but, you know, you just know, like, hey, you know, these are my badges I want to keep at, you know, gold no matter what. So you set them and you understand that you just can never, ever change it again. The way it said, it didn't say for season. So I want to, again, I'll ask a question for that and make sure, is it just going to be for that season, or is it going to be for the duration of that build? Okay. So that is basically the multipliers and the perks along with the progression. If you are loving these type of videos, please, please, please make sure you drop a like and subscribe. Also, check out the video that's about to pop up. It's some really good information there. You know, Uncle's always looking out. I got some good stuff, man. Make sure you subscribe, put the noties on, click the bell. You already know the vibes, man. But other than that, it's your favorite old head, Uncle Jimmy. I'll be back really, really soon with another banger, man. You know, when I say back soon with another banger, you know exactly what day I'm talking about. I'm talking about tomorrow, man. I'm out.